This video is about one event that went well for me at the 2023 Nats, the PeeWee 30 event, which I won first place. Now in later years there hasn't been a whole lot of competition, only usually about three planes actually flying, and so I've won first and second a couple of times. It was really fun this year. I got to fly with the gentleman that got me started, Bob Stolick. I had seen there was a used book on the NIFAS website about PeeWee 30, and I had purchased that. This is Bob's plane flying. I wonder if it might be the spacer design that's in that book. There's a bunch of designs in the book of PeeWee 30 models and some discussion about the PeeWee 020 engine. The idea for this event, which I think is great, it was really simple because all you needed is the PeeWee 020, and you use an eyedropper for a fuel tank, and no timer is needed. Here's a picture of the plan for Bob's spacer design, and here's a design by Warren Kurth. Alan Abras has a PeeWee 30 design also, but I selected the basic yeller on a recommendation by Hank Nystrom. This has worked well for him. And there's no kit, so I had to buy plans from NIFAS, but it is a good structure. And when I had finished the model, originally it weighed right at the 100-gram minimum weight. Here you see a close-up of my PeeWee 020 and the eyedropper tank. The first flights I made were at North Branch, Minnesota, where the Minnesota free flight contests are held. And I had some good flights there, but on one flight the engine came loose and started to vibrate, causing a crash. So I quickly learned my lesson that you can't even use wood screws on an 020 engine, so I used blind nuts after that. I also flew the plane from a small farm field. This was my first glow-powered plane, and then I flew it at the 2017 Nats but didn't fly in competition. I'm thinking it must have been windy that day of contest. So I created a couple of videos on the Bill Cool YouTube channel. You can search for those about PeeWee 30. I also have some experience from flying a couple of sniffer models I got used with the PeeWee 020. The sniffer is a kit that you can purchase from BMJR and would be legal for the PeeWee 30 event. I was flying this sniffer off of a farm field with no crops at the time, and the dirt just really seemed to be bad for the engine, and I had a lot of trouble with that. And this is a Ranger 30 powered with a PeeWee 020 built by Paul Bradley, and I had a lot of trouble with this engine, as did Paul. I finally got it to run for about one flight and then had more trouble. Well, my engine ran pretty good this year, and the only thing I can think of is I had taken it apart and I had replaced the gasket and the O-ring, and I think that helps. Well, thank you everyone for watching these Nats videos. There's been a good number of views, which encourages me to make more.